And go.
There we are. Welcome back, everybody, to another session of the Spiky Tumbleweeds. So it's been a while since we were on due to the GM getting long COVID, but we are back at it, and we'll hopefully have regular Sunday sessions again, starting from this Sunday, 3rd of March. I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm just going to throw people off the deep end with recaps, starting today with our esteemed Swedish friend, Preacher.
Thank you very much. Well, welcome back, everybody. It's been a hot minute, and the last session was fairly compact. We had one huge battle, so I'm gonna rewind just a little bit and cover the previous one as well, oversight. We were hunting the large black dragon, supposedly somewhere around this area, La Linda, I think it was. And we came to this village, not knowing what to expect, trying to hook up some gear and some clues where to go in the big bad swamp. Turns out the village had a bit of a cult issue. They didn't like us, especially didn't like Tulmar, it seems. Our resident EOD and Dragonkin. So they tried to poison us, and yeah, we didn't like that. We discovered the poison attempt set up in the previous session as a starting point and tried to leave town, but they had us surrounded. The inn was there was a lot of people outside. So I did my Superman thing, ran through the wall, dun, 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 jumped out, and yeah, we kicked some butt out there. I'm gonna toss it over to Eudi and see what kind of wisdom shenanigans he wants to share.
Yeah, I got to do a lot of big numbies with the chain lightning. Disintegrated a black dragon. That was kind of fun. It was a pretty spicy fight, though. Things got a little hairy for Estrella in particular, but we managed to pull through as usual. And then when I killed the dragon, it like absorbed into my book of dragons, and then I started talking in my sleep, and Yodi's kind of getting a little weird right now. We'll have to see where that goes, and I'll throw it to Estrella then.
Yeah, so Estrella had learned about the poison attempt and warned the team in advance. So we were not completely taken by surprise, but our escape attempt did not really go as we had hoped. We wanted to get out without a fight, seeing that the town apparently was threatened by the dragon to abide to their rule, and we didn't want to hurt any innocents, but they didn't give us much of a choice, almost killing us out there. Especially Estrella, as it was mentioned, and the team had to work together to get her out of being a dragon chewing toy. Thanks for that, guys. Well, we made it out, and we escaped to the river gardens, who had a boat ready for us to escape the town and advance further north, where we suspect the big black dragon is that we're actually aiming for. Although that one could have just flown over to the town where we just left. We will see where we will encounter it. So, we found a nice little hiding spot out in the swamps, and in the night, Eodi started to speak in his sleep, and we had a few guards set up to not be ambushed in our sleeps. Who saw all of that? I think Mador was one of those, wasn't he?
I don't recall if I did. All I know was that we climbed out the window, and I was sitting back, waiting to get in, and up right beside me, a black dragon that was invisible appeared. So my whole time fighting was that the black dragon trying to get its attention from using Estrella as a chew toy. But no, it just, I guess it liked the soft, chewy inside. I don't know. But yeah, we had one heck of a fight. I did my darnest to try and get that dragon's attention to me, but nah, it didn't want to. It didn't want to bite me. Otherwise, it was yeah. We got to the river, got the boat, got the high spot. I don't recall if it was me I think Preacher was one of the ones that saw the Eode floating and talking, but I don't recall if it was me. Take it away, Marisol.
Thank you. So we started the session with them bursting in on us, believing we were already dead because of the poison. So I lied for my life and made sure and confused them plenty when they came in, and then we ran away. We did not kill innocents on our way over. We just killed the ones attacking us directly, and we tried to avoid the main roads to get to the river wardens without being stopped by too many people. Something is odd with Eode, but not that that's anything new, but it's odder. Anyway, we have a interesting fight ahead of us. We've seen the daddy dragon. So what's gonna happen next? Magnus, have you gone?
Nope, I've not. Well, lovely little fight. Magnus borrowed Marisol's broom and got to practice his magnificent cackle to get down to the courtyard. Not a lot else to say about the fight, really. We left a bit of a trail of blood behind us. I seem to recall that Zara, and especially Estrella, and maybe Marisol a little as well, got fairly beaten up. But we made it to the River Wardens all right, hauling the town champion's body along with us. And we found a place to lie low and make camp, and Estrella and Zara got all healed up, and Magnus is just waiting for Marisol to wake up before he treats her. So let me see. Edamir, don't think you've been.
I can't remember much, so don't really have much to add. Zara.
The only thing I really have to add is the champion Camilla Bonvillian was a half cavern elf, half black dragon. So that's kind of an interesting tie, probably back to Big Daddy Black Dragon we saw raking the boats in the distance with his breath weapon. And we stole the corpse, used some smugglers' routes to lose the villagers, and now we're hiding because we're not in great shape and not ready to go fight the BB ED, as it were. I think that's about it. Anyone else need to go? Then I'll throw it to Shoggoth.
Excellent. Yeah, so it's been a fairly long night with lots of little pains and aches, slowly getting better. Which one of you had the morning watch?
I know I had one of them.
Right,
I think that would be me. I normally take the morning.
I was forbidden from standing watch.
Yeah, you were too hurt.
So that's going to be Preacher, Marisol, and Mador, who are awake currently, as there's a fairly thick fog over the swamp right now. So it's getting light. The sun is coming up, but you're not getting any heat. It's got an unpleasant, blurry morning where the sun's lights are refracting in through the fog. Probably got another hour at least before we can start moving. Dum 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 dum.
Breakfast, anyone?
Probably a good idea to prepare something for the rest. Yes. This is a dense fog. I hope
Yeah.
you're up to navigating this.
I have never seen this heavy fog in my life, except when they move Greenhill, then everything around becomes foggy like this until it suddenly clears again.
Can I sense if it's a magical fog?
Well, you do have those senses. It's the fog itself is. It's not entirely magical, but it's not entirely there's. It's not magic that you can recognize, but something's definitely causing this fog. It's not just the local heat and humidity.
We'll pass that on to the captain.
Yes?
Yeah, it's not entirely magical, but there is something magical about this.
Yeah. I kind of assumed so as much. This is not entirely natural, at least.
Speaking of not natural, Iwadi was levitating in his sleep and talking.
Levitating in his sleep?
Yep.
What was he saying?
Something about eating somebody's liver.
Okay.
Not entirely sure. I kind of was a little bit observant of the fact that he was hovering and yeah, concerned with my own experiences in this particular area.
That's weird.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk to him and see if there's anything.
Well, I've been watching him most of the night instead of watching the rest of the outside. Just in case.
Figures. We'll see if we get to talk to him about it. I don't want to insult him or anything.
I think you should make him a quilt of gold coins to weigh him down in future so he doesn't float off.
Perhaps that would work. I don't know. How do you make a quilt out of gold coins?
Melt them together, maybe? Sew them onto something soft fabric? I don't know.
I have no idea. There's
I'm not
this
a
country
crafter.
that actually has coins with holes in them. Like you could just sew on like buttons.
We start working on breakfast.
Yep.
Oakley dokley. 6 people. Excellent. So the next two to wake up are Magnus and Estrella.
Morning.
Morning.
Is there any black bean brew or espresso?
Soon.
Very soon.
Grand. I don't suppose there's any porridge.
Also on the way.
If you got some hot water left, I'd like a tea.
There's hot water in the boiling pan, so help yourself.
You true friend. Oh, that was a rough night.
Well, I for one feel a lot better now.
Me too. Definitely.
Magnus sits down at the campfire waiting for the espresso.
So, anything happened tonight?
No one
I
attacked
mean,
us at least.
that's a plus. Even it was levitating, but otherwise, no.
Levitating.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not strange at all.
Well, some sleepwalk. I don't know what his kind do, but it was weird, so I kept an eye on him.
Interesting. Everything was quiet at midwatch.
Well, as long as he's not starting to talk in any ancient language and shooting some beams at people, I'm not too worried at the moment.
So far, he hasn't done that. As you can see, the canopy above us is still thick, but we do have this weird fog.
It's a rather specific description.
Oh, is it? She winks over to Preacher.
The preacher has no idea since he actually doesn't recall that thing, I believe.
Well,
Here is hot bean brew at least. Starting handing out mugs.
Aye, you're a lifesaver, Marisol.
You're a literal one. If it hadn't been for you yesterday, I'd be dead.
Well, you know, it's a pleasure to serve.
Lifting mug.
any ideas about this fog, or do you want me to get out and scout a little?
I don't think you should scout too far into this because it's so damn thick and we could lose you. I think we
And
should wait.
it does to be some type of magical, not fully, but there is some magic in it. I'm going to try and attune my hearing senses to see if I can hear anything other than using my vision, since I don't think dark vision will pierce this fog.
Nope. Give me a perception roll then. You're uncertain, but you think in the very far away you can hear a foghorn.
I would like to do a esoteric lore on the fog.
Yep, at this point everybody else is also woken up due to the chatter.
Estrella is checking her backpack if she still has her horn of fog.
Yep, she still has this horn of fog, and as Sora sits down and starts thinking about it, you've heard in your ancestors know that some of the elder dragons, they can manipulate weather, terrain, and that sort of phenomena around the lairs where they've been staying long enough to kind of attune with the land. It's not a fully neither magical nor natural ability. It's something unique to dragons, and well, if you're right, you guys are within what would be considered the territory of this dragon you're looking for.
The source of this fog is the dragon we saw last night. We're close enough to his lair that the world itself responds to him. So we're close enough that he is upset about the whole situation.
Oh, that's not good at all. Fighting in this fog is nearly impossible. If we lose sight of each other, we could easily hurt each other.
We should probably find some way to be tethered together then, when we're traveling in here. I did get to mark the dragon yesterday so we can track him.
Yeah, and not to bring another bad news to this, but seeing as this fog, maybe it's not such a good idea to use a lot of lightning. She looks over to Yoyodi. We could get affected as well.
Yodi's lightning is not so casual that fog would be a problem. Also, I am hungry. I think I crave meat, livers today.
You do,
Well,
don't you?
Well, what do we have in the crates then?
Any foie gras?
Yum.
I think we actually have some cow's liver here. Would that suffice?
This will be perfect. And he immediately just starts devouring without cooking it.
I assumed as much. I'm gonna go wash my hands after pulling them out of the bag of food.
That explains the salt beef I found in there last time.
Well, we do have pretty good food, considering we're in the middle of a fucking swamp.
Evody, do you feel particularly light this morning?
Yodi is satiated. I have had my liver.
Well, more like you were free floating in your sleep last night.
Don't be silly, preacher. Iodi does not float.
Well, I can tell you that it looked like you were doing it.
Kind of looks around a little bit and he goes, I think that preacher should sleep more at the night. It is beginning to affect him, I think.
Preacher is so sleeping no more or no less than he has the whole campaign. Although if you say it's nothing to worry about, then I'll believe you.
Yodi was asleep. I have no idea.
All right.
Very well.
Let's pack up and see if we can find this dragon of ours.
Aye. As for not wandering apart, we can use this. Magnus dumps a coil of rope in the middle.
Estrella's looking over to Zara. Do you think one of my poisons could work against that dragon?
Well, it's difficult to say. Black dragons usually aren't particularly resistant to poison, but you have seen a lot of evidence that these actually are resistant to poison.
If we were fighting typical dragons, perhaps, but I suspect that this particular breed of dragon is going to be a bit resistant to such things.
That explains why the one in town didn't show much response to the ones I applied to my blade. Oh.
well, luckily, I can see through the fog. And I did a little scouting around, and we're close to two major waterways. The one we came in on, and the one over there, everything's dead in the water. I wouldn't recommend touching the water.
No, but that sounds like the way we want to go, because batter is better with these things, is right?
And since you're hunting the dragon, I might be able to find the way to it.
That would be helpful. Tracking it with, if I know the direction, is much easier than without.
Yeah, if you can describe the direction and where it is.
Let's see. I am consulting my hunter's mark on this thing.
Ooh, Nelly. Yeah, that dragon's no more than half a day's travel northeast from where you are.
Yeah, so that way and through there.
I'm gonna cast Show the Way on a general area on the map to where it is.
Gotcha. Well, it seems like that river with all of the dead stuff is what's going to lead you up there the quickest, but you're going to need to carry your boat over to it, or your pram, to be more correct. Calling it a boat or a ship is a bit of an insult to boats and ships.
Well, we'll have to work together then.
I'm sure Preacher, Mador, Magnus, and I are more than enough to move that dinghy.
Let's give it a shot. Everyone take a corner.
I'll lead off the horses so you don't have to carry them.
Turns out to be a lot easier to lift the thing once the horses have been taken off, yes. But Sarah's entirely correct in her assumption that the 4 of them can carry that thing without too much trouble. I mean, they're all in world's strongest man contestant territory, so they're pretty strong.
I have my little paws like hanging on to the edge of the boat, and I'm just dangling there as I was trying to help lift it.
And Estrella's leading the Kelbies.
Wow. Hmm.
What is it?
No, I'm just admiring swamp.
Oh, I thought you'd caught sight of the dangling fox.
Dangling fox? I have no idea what you mean.
No, of course not.
Right. No, it's easy enough to carry that thing over. There's a slight hissing once you lower it onto the river. Did any of you have an experience as a sailor?
Nope.
Nope.
If only you had an orcish bard with you. Well, you can hazard a guess that this pram won't survive too long on this river, but by too long, it's probably a matter of at least a couple of days. But yeah, it's caustic.
Okay, so we should take it out of the water the moment we're done as well then. To save it, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be a wee bit trickier not touching that water.
Well, it would be... What we'll have to do is just get rid of this dragon so that we can actually walk out of here once our boat is destroyed.
We can always try and haul it out of the water onto higher ground. If there's such a thing as higher ground in the swamp.
It's
The offspring was already pretty powerful. We should really be careful about the father dragon, especially since we may have killed one of the kids, but he has more, if I remember correctly.
Speaking about that, Yuri, are you making any progress on the rune transfer from that arrow to...
Yodi has not had enough time to do this at all.
We may want to give him time to do this before we'll get there.
We can't really decide that we need to get this dragon as soon as possible. But yeah, definitely, if we can, then we should. This way, people. I'm working together with Ed to navigate us as quietly and as efficiently as possible.
Right, give me a survival roll from each of you. It's a lot of survival rolls. So I was looking for Marisol and Ed's survival rolls.
Oh, you said from everybody, so.
Oh, I did. Well, that sounds like the thing I'd say.
I was sitting there being like, man, I'm not good at that roll at all.
Ed, are you really a druid not trained in survival?
Yep.
Well then, Marisol, definitely. Ed points the way and Marisol finds the quietest route. Quite quiet. The most silent route to travel. And she does it well. So you're making pretty good time. After about 4 hours, the fog finally gives up its fight against the sun. It's late summer. The sun is high in the sky. It's powerful. You're not entirely convinced it's an improvement, though, as the hot sun hits the swamp. The smell is significant. And you're noticing a lot of bloated corpses, or more correctly, parts of bloated corpses floating down the river from where you are. A lot of them seem to have been melted or torn to bits. Yep, that's a lot of corpses, all right. As Estrella takes another look, she also notices branded or tattooed on a lot of them. There's a cyan blue tower. Looks fairly recent. There's a lot of boiling going on as the acid in the river is just eating the flesh off of them.
This is disgusting.
A lot of these corpses have tattoos on them. Oh. Blue tower.
Which means
Not sure, but they don't seem too old. But the river is certainly gnawing on them.
makes perfect sense that it's annoying on our boat.
Do you even think we're in a river, or is this just, an acid washout?
Could be either.
Marisol has tied her neck, her scarf around her nose to not breathe in as much of the noxious fumes.
Right. Well, the swamp is selling out. There's a lot of places where you have to stake through very quickly upstream and hold your breath as Marisol manages to identify spots where the air just isn't breathable, especially in the lower parts of it. But after another 2 hours, you can see in the distance what looks to be a stone wall jutting up. It's crumbling, ancient, and fairly large. From the look of it, this was a very grand place. Long enough ago that none of you would ever have visited it. And there are, you can see from the distance where you're at that there's markings on the side of the temple, but you can't make them out due to the erosion of time. You'd have to get a lot closer. Definitely an old temple, though. You can recognize the building style.
Estrella's taking out her spyglass again, trying to see if she can make out the symbols or see any movement.
Give us a perception check there, love. Oh, excellent. Well, at first, she can't see much, but as she takes a couple of minutes, sits still, through branches, she notices a human, it looks like. A humanoid shape. And something much bigger, with black wings and black scales, but far larger than any human you've seen. They seem to be throwing bodies into the stream. From the look of them, sailors of some sort.
Okay, do you want the bad news or the good news first?
You were muted there.
Always do the bad first.
Well, our target is not alone. I see at least one humanoid figure and the big black dragon throwing bodies into the river. The good news is our target seems to be there.
Can we get ashore here rather than paddle up straight to the structure?
Give us a survival check. Whoever wants to see if they can find a route. Yeah, Preacher's pretty certain there's some high ground you can use to sneak up on this place.
No. From what we know, I assume that humanoid figure is one of its kids, so we have at least 2 dragons against us.
Probably.
Or another half dragon.
Wasn't there some way to scare off most of the kids with different things they were allergic to?
I think there was something like that, but do we have those?
I mean, yeah.
Allergic? I don't recall that, but okay.
No, I think one of them was scared of or very interested in crocodiles or something. And do I
Yeah,
remember
that
incorrectly?
radical Fey dude told us a lot about it.
Hmm.
Can anyone remember more about what he said?
I'm not sure.
You seem to remember one of them really liked eating crocodiles. But you
I
can't
think
remember which one.
Well, I think you're right about one of them liking crocodiles, but I don't know which one it was.
If we
Well, I
try to
mean-
remember more of it, then we could try to set up some of the interests, and see if we can lure at least learn the way.
Well, but we should do that thinking somewhere in cover before they see us.
Definitely. Can someone see if they can find a good shelter? I don't think we can get any closer on this thing anyway.
Well, over there, behind that hill, may have the higher ground. Yeah, it might be a good idea.
Yeah, there's cops of dead. They might have been some sort of rose bush at some point, but it's only dead wood now. You can at least get some cover from the air and some from the ground. But you won't be able to hide the pram or the horses there.
Eoti, dragons seem to have a lot of very good senses. What are the chances that we remain hidden for long?
Not very good. However, if they are busy, there is a lot of smells already here. It is hard to say.
Eoti, I have a question for you. Can other dragons sense other dragonkin or dragonborn?
I believe that they can sense just about everything around them. I do not think it is specific to dragon.
How exactly do they sense us, aside from smell, I mean?
They have great eyesight, and the smell is a big part of it.
Well, there are ways to make it harder for them, then.
seems to me if this water is caustic, then, well, they're throwing bodies. That would tend to mask our smell anyway.
They're probably used to that smell, so they can probably distinguish anything else other than that. I'm gonna start rolling around in the mud.
Well, you are now a very icky little fox.
His idea isn't a bad one. That will definitely mask our smell and could also help with being sighted.
Well, I can smear some on the armor, but it's not going to do much for the smell of metal.
No, but it will definitely help with the reflecting light. And she starts smearing mud on his armor.
I would rather kill every dragon in the swamp than climb in that mud.
Me too.
I throw a mud ball at Zara.
I'm gonna dodge that.
Very well.
Pritchard just looks at the mud, looks at his terracotta skin, looks at the mud, terracotta skin.
Mador, I noticed a finger in the ear.
Yes. Back when we talked to the monk, and he was telling me about the piece of armor in this direction. Now, can I sense that piece of armor nearby, or can it, or could it, whoever's where could sense me wearing part of that armor?
Give me an Arcana roll.
Yodi will say this as well. These dragons, they do sense through tremors on the ground, and they can see through invisibility and things. I do not know that we should be attempting to hide from it.
33 on the Arcana.
I've sent you a PM.
That's certainly not easy to counteract, but may be able to. Oh, the tremor, yeah, maybe that could work, but I don't know about seeing through invisibility. I mean, not that I'm using that anyway.
Well, the thing is that we probably can't really hide from it. We'll just need to make sure that we can attack it in the best possible way and not be too surprised when he attacks us. And
Well,
didn't he say that the chances were that the kid will come and attack, and then the old man will be like, "Boo!" later?
there's a very good chance of that, yeah.
If we wanted to see if this was the one that liked eating crocs, we could try to see if we can fish a croc from somewhere nearby, flay it open, and see if the scent of croc blood brings him along.
That's a good idea. Fortunately, away from where we are.
I do sense a piece of this armor in the temple.
Well, that's where we're going anyway.
I'll give you a bit of time to plan. I'm back in 2 minutes. Forgot to fix myself a drink before we started.
Oh, do we have any? Sorry.
I'm hoping it's not being worn by somebody who can sense the other part of the armor.
Yeah. Good point.
Well, I'm more worried about now where to find a crocodile in here.
We're
I
in a
don't.
swamp. There's plenty crocodiles. I've seen
Yeah, in a
this morning.
poisonous swamp. Not too sure they can survive in this water.
If someone counts, it's the crocodiles.
We have a druid that might be able to, I don't know,
Summon one?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to go and save the swamp puppies and not let them be sacrificed. So I will intentionally act like I'm trying to help, but I'm really not.
Well, I mean, we do have enough meat to try to get one over here. They should be. Although I'm not too sure how hungry they are with all the bodies in the water.
Depends whether they're eating them or disposing of them. Estrella, I think that's enough mud now. And watch where you're rubbing it. That tabard's going to need washing now.
Oh, I can help you later with that when we're out of here.
Aye, I'm no washing this in caustic water. Belongs to my order. So, has anyone ever been gator fishing?
No, not me.
Nope.
So is our strategy going to be spread out and charge? Or anybody got better ideas?
I am not
really.
sure that there is a better way.
But couldn't we just summon it? I've seen druids summoning things that are almost alive and should probably look like a crocodile.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not that type of druid.
Fair enough.
All I can do is try to find one, but I'm not seeing any crocodiles around here. No gators.
Any other idea how we could lure the kid over somewhere?
I don't know.
I mean, even if we manage to separate them for a moment, as soon as the father sees us attacking its child, it will be at our place pretty fast.
No, we should try to decide the field of battle then, if that's all we can do.
Who says their children aren't already here since the one that appeared in the village was invisible?
We'll just have to hope. There's nothing more we can do. We can't be afraid of invisible enemies all around us, because then we'll just go around being paranoid anyway.
All right, so we should see if we can find a bigger piece of land where we do not, where we're not in danger to fall into this water. I do not want to lose our boat here.
I don't want to lose my life here.
And Yodi does not want to be a book, so we must kill a dragon.
Might be
I'm
more than
gonna-
one.
I'm gonna go over and pet this white snake that I found.
Well, the moment you move toward it, it disappears for you.
Did anybody else see that white snake?
What white snake?
There was like an albino snake watching us.
Hmm.
So assume they know where we are.
Let's get ready then.
Here we go again.
The potions of resistance.
I don't take it that I would actually know that second part of that from that religion, would I?
No. Actually, yes, it's pretty common. It's common knowledge for druids.
Okay. Hey Zara, do you know anything about Ankou, the goddess of death, and white snakes?
Got a PM there.
She usually sends them out when someone worthy might die. So I was gonna make a warding gesture, or 3. Things are about to get heated, and the gods are watching us.
They always are.
Always watching, never helping. Estrella wants to take another look if the humanoid and the dragon are still on the walls.
They were never on the walls. They were down by the river, tossing
Oh,
corpses
right. Okay.
into it. But she's now getting a much closer look at him. Once a lady, ostensibly human, but with the spyglass, Estrella can see that her fingers seem to have an extra joint, and they've got long black claws. And even though she's hiding it well with what looks to be typical pirate's garb, there's black scales coming up from her collar and showing through below her sleeves as she's yeeting corpses. The other one is the biggest troll Estrella's ever seen. Huge, mean, green, but doesn't seem to be afraid of the acidic river at all. It's actually washing blood and guts off its hands in the acidic river. And you can also see this thing has huge curved horns, black scales covering a lot of its body. Its claws are even bigger and more mean-looking than usual.
All right. So I'm pretty sure the 2 of them are dragons. I can see their scales, and they are not afraid of the acid water. That much is sure. One is looking like a troll with horns. I see the claws. Damn, they're huge.
Interesting mixture.
That's for sure.
By the way, dear, I know you don't believe in gods, but remember, at least one powers my magic, and it's been rather helpful to you and everyone else.
All right, maybe a little helpful.
Yep. So, you guys going to be sitting until you're spotted, or are you getting close to getting a game plan?
Well, is there anywhere we can fight on a bit more level plane where we're not going to fall into the acid files by stumbling?
Our group and game plan? I think our plan is to just drink a ton of hero juice.
I'm looking for a better battlefield.
I think our best bet is around the temple.
Attacking a temple is not a good idea. They have walls.
I didn't say attacking the temple. I said around the temple. That is the biggest piece of dry land I see.
And why would they come out to meet us if they have the walls?
Well, they are not inside the walls right now. They're at the river.
And you don't think they could walk inside?
I'm going to have to ask a clarifying question here. What kind of walls did you guys picture when I described temple walls crumbling up there?
Ruins, pretty much. No roof, stuff like that.
Yeah, because it sounds like some are thinking castle walls, and that's not what's up there.
These are like the ones that keep you out of their garden, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Never mind then. I've
So
been
that's-
used to having large walls in this campaign.
Yeah, it sounded like you guys were making a tactical plan based on different understandings of what's up there. Nope, this is this is an old crumbling temple, not an old crumbling castle.
Thanks for
Thank you.
clarifying.
The question is, can we find a good route up there without being seen before we get there?
Better question: can we hand out the potions of acid resistance and prepare ourselves for this fight, and then go just start smashing things?
Well, if we're gonna smash things around the temple, then let's just down these potions and get going. The longer we wait, the more likely we are to fail.
Yep, and these potions don't last forever.
Nope.
So the plan was correct. Chug hero juice and rush in.
Do you have a better idea?
Not really.
Exactly. Come on.
I'd like to think we're a bit more stealthy than that, but Mather and I make a lot of noise when we move.
Estrella and I are sneakier than that.
Yep, and Estrella is starting to also rub some mud on her clothes.
And no matter how sneaky you are, it seems like the dragons ignore it.
Well, now that I know what they are looking for, thanks AOD, I think that should work a lot better now.
Magnus takes great pleasure in rubbing some mud around Estrella's face.
Question, Shoggy.
Yes, that's me.
Are we on roughly the same side of the floating acid river, or are we on the other side? Are we able to actually get there without swimming across?
Yeah, you're roughly on the safe side. There's basically two paths that you can see. There are three paths you can take, but there are two paths that'll take you to this temple without you having to jump any sort of acid. One that'll come up on it from a corner, and one that'll come up just flat onto it. And then there's a third one where you'll come up from the other corner, but that's going to involve some crossing of rivers of acidic water. Give me a perception check, by the way, Preacher, since you're having yourself a look-see.
Will do.
Oh yeah, up there by on the third path, lurking, almost looking like part of the swamp. You see what you first think is a black dragon, but then you notice it's got too many legs. It is some sort of well, it's definitely got a lot of the attributes of a black dragon: the horns, the teeth, all of that stuff. But it's I'm just gonna share a picture so our viewers also get to see it. But it's not a dragon per se. It's big though. That thing could at least pick up a human and fly away with it. Maybe not an ogre like most of the dragons you've met.
I point over to that direction and say there's a dragonkin over there, but it's not quite as such. It's got too many legs, and it's about the right size, so there is definitely something hiding on that path. We can
It's
safely
so-
assume that's going to be something else on the other ones as well, but I still suggest we spread out a little bit.
It's like an Easoy, but grown up.
Possibly. I'm going to go for the corner if you guys want to do the head-on. And I'll try and fold in around whatever's coming there, but I don't want to get everybody in the same breath weapon.
Well, before we split up and she starts handing out the anti-acid and anti-poison that we got from the Fae, each take one and take it on time.
Shoggoth, can I do a nature check on that?
You can, sir. You can.
Specifically, I want to know like what it would take to tame one, and if it would count as a riding drake if I did tame one.
That one is probably too old to be tamed. If you found a young one, It could be tamed, yes. You'd probably not want this particular type, though. What you're looking at there is a Dracolisk. So that is a half basilisk, half black dragon. And any type of riding implement that turns everybody in any town you visit to stone by looking at them is probably a bad choice.
Sad face. I mentioned about it turning to stone stuff.
Oh, great.
Hmm.
I mean, I still have my Horn of Fog, but I mean, of course, it can turn us to stone, but we can't see it either.
Yeah, y'all. My ability to see through fog works against me on that one.
I take the offered potions and wait for the go-ahead from Marisol.
Well, if you are going up that way, I'll be following you because we are more efficient together.
True. I just don't want us all in one direction from all
Oh
time.
no,
so
I'm
to
gonna
speak.
stay as far away from you as I possibly can while still being effective.
Yeah,
We
are you
should be able-
taking the corner where you need to jump the river, or the one where you have a clean sprint?
I would like to take the corner with the jump.
The corner with the jump. Gotcha.
Okay, I'll make sure that each group has a healer with them.
How much resistance do these potions actually apply, Shoggoth?
The Fey potions will apply 15. The regular ones you bought from the River Wardens will apply 5.
Okay.
The path you're describing, Preacher, would take you up to the Dracolisk that's lurking, just so you're aware of it.
Okay, no.
Gotcha. So other side then.
Yes.
Zara would like to sneak around the edge with the Dragolisk.
Sarah would like to sneak in from the edge with the Dracolisk. Gotcha. So I'm just placing some tokens here while you guys are talkifying at me.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yep.
Eodi,
I do have the one that compensates for special senses.
Gotcha.
if Eodi and I can get, about 500 feet away from the dragon, we can open it up with a bang with dual chain lightnings.
No, you haven't actually seen the actual dragon yet, as far as you're aware. You've seen a Dracolisk, and a troll, and a human.
Yep.
Mador, a moment.
Yes, Magnus.
It seems like we're going on to at least 2 different paths. I would suggest that one of us goes with either. So, do you want the corner or head on to that face there? Oh, we could rock, paper, scissors it.
I'm really having a hard time understanding what you're saying, Magnus.
Let me try again. We're splitting into 2 different parties, one headed for the corner and the other one going face on. Do you have a preference or just toss a coin?
It doesn't matter to me.
Very well. I shall go with the party heading for the corner then.
So Magnus is heading down together with Zara, if I get it correctly.
Other corner.
Yeah, Zara's on one corner, Marisol and Preacher's on the others. Which one's Magnus taking?
The one with Marisol and Preacher. He doesn't have to jump.
Gotcha.
Well, then I'll be the 4th person on that path. Estrella is joining them. And of course, she's going to be stealthy, and she also has foil senses to counter special senses. And the sneak 7.
I am following wherever Iodi goes, so we can try to get our magic together.
Gotcha. I have no idea where Yodi's going. I know where Magnus, Estrella, Preacher, Marisol, and Zara are going. So
I'm gonna vote for the map because I don't know what's going on here, and I don't know where I'm at either.
gotcha.
So if you just want to pop the map, then I'll tell you where I'm going.
Give me a moment, and I will pop it with the maparoo. I'm just gonna make certain you're not getting a vision on anything while you're planning. Well, you know where the Dracolisk is, and you know where the Dracolisk is, basically, because you can see him. So I'll leave that on the map. And Shadow.
Ah, yes, black. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, typical fancy grounds. It's probably gonna need a bit to load.
If you haven't placed them yet, that's why they can see it.
Right. That's also a thing, right? So let's just yeet some people out here so that they gain vision.
Oh, hello.
And that should be the entire party as far as I'm aware.
Isoy? Okay, there he is.
There we are. You might need to zoom a bit. I'm noticing some are getting it very zoomed out.
I will go. I'm gonna walk with Preacher, and I'm not gonna clump up with these guys though. I'm gonna be like over here by the water.
I'm just gonna unclump you guys a bit.
I tried to grab my token and yeeted the entire map when you did that.
Right.
Yeah, that looks fine to me.
I'm also going to be by Iodi.
Gotcha.
So, rules question here, real quick. If I cast resist energy, does it stack with the potion?
Let me check.
I can answer that as written.
Go ahead.
Highest resistance is the only one that matters.
Yeah, so they don't
Thank
stack.
you.
All right.
So nope, that would not stack.
Okay.
Namor, where are you planning on being?
Well, I have really no idea who's going where. I thought we had a frontal assault, but now we're not. We're taking up two different corners. I'll
Yep.
go to the corner that has the least amount of people.
Right. So that's going to be strike team Zara and Mador. Sador, as it's also known.
Since that team has less, I'm going to tell Isoy to go with Zara.
Remember, that's the one with the basilisk dragon.
Gotcha. Boom. If I was a rich man. Let's see here. What's the difference of 5? Okay. Right. So you guys are sneaking up. Place yourselves no higher than the line Estrella is on, where you want to be once you start chugging potions and actually going into initiatives.
I'm assuming that is behind the tree.
That is entirely correct.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit on my knees behind that tree and making sure that my rifle is loaded.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna be next to her when I chug the potion, and before I chug it, I want a visual of what I can actually see around that tree.
I'm actually going to try to climb the tree.
Yeah, the tree is easily climbable for a fox, no roll needed. So I'm just going to open up the tree to give you a bit more vision. Now that he's up there kind of telling you guys what's around.
Where were the troll and stuff?
I will now visibilify things. See, you shouldn't. Some of you should have. I'm not certain you guys actually have line of sight currently.
I do.
Yes, and you know where the troll is. I'll drop some. You know where the troll is currently. Oakley dokley. Another thing you notice that you hadn't seen before, sleeping up next to the temple wall, is a huge chimera with a black dragon head instead of a red, but otherwise pretty identical to that one. Black wings. You can see all three heads are snoring.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do an esoteric lore on the Dragolisk.
Right, that's... well, I'm not going to count that as you starting the fight. Let's see here. Yep, that is definitely a half black dragon, half basilisk dragon. From what you remember of this from your esoteric lore, this thing's immune to being paralyzed, petrified, and put to sleep. And it's resistant to acid. Otherwise, it's basically just a nastier basilisk. It can still turn people to stone with its gaze, but it can also breathe acid.
Can we take a break before we start the fight?
It's probably, if we're gonna have a break today, it's probably best to take it before the fight starts. So,
Yeah.
let's take a break up to 10 minutes. So we'll be back at 7:43 p.m. CET in 10 minutes. In other words.
Okay.
Go, go, go. There we are. All right. So you have given go time, which I assume means all of you guys are also chugging your potions.
Yes.
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 The Fey ones.
Yeah, as Magnus chugs the second potion from the Fey, a tiny, fat little man in striped pants with little fairy wings and a white wife beater pops up in front of him and says, "Greetings from the Dawn Lord Kuach." And Magnus now has ram's horns and ram's legs.
Help my boy! I'll get even with you for this, Scunner.
Does that happen to anyone else of us?
Nope, only him. And the little fairy shouting obscenities and calling Magnus a cuckold obviously is enough for all of the enemies to notice you, so it is now Edamir's turn.
Oh, well then. I will reach spell slashing gust twice on the Chimera.
Gotcha. That is a miss and a crit. Love the ID name of the Chimera. Lion, dragon, goat creature. Ooh, the Chimera knows you're there for sure. Yeah, that gust
And-
opens up a lot of slashes in it.
Since it crit, he takes 4d or 5d4 persistent bleed.
Ooh, boy. Roll your 5d4, sir. See if I find the bleed effect here. Man, this UI would have made life a lot easier for me by adding bleed as an effect. 12 per turn. Okay, you're going to have to help me remember that once it's the Chimera's turn, because I can't
Sounds good.
actually add it to it in this UI here. They seem to have been surprised, so we're going to jump straight to... actually, have they been surprised? Well, most of them. We're going to jump straight to Preacher.
I'm gonna hold action until Eori has done some medical marvels.
Okay, so you're holding until Eodi.
Mm-hmm.
Very well, then it's Sarah.
It looks like this Dracolisk is on dry land. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. The Dracolisk is on dry land.
Zara is going to zip up to here,
Nyum.
make a mirror duplicate of herself on the other side of it, and then whammo it with a hammer.
Gotcha. That is shiny and or chrome. That's a hit.
32.
It is a hit indeed. Hit is a hit, of course. Oh, dang. Yeah, that thing knows it's been hit. Black blood spurts from where Sara actually smashes a lot of the shells and a fair bit of meat off of it. And that takes us to Estarella.
Hmm. Estrella is going to sneak up a little bit. I think there are some rocks over here. Of course,
Yeah.
she's not going through the water.
That's correct. Moving up very stealthily.
Yep,
Give us a stealth roll.
that is coming right now because she is going to stay there trying to stay stealthy.
Gotcha.
Come on, where is it? I think the animation on the map is making my fantasy grounds a little bit slower.
Ah, fantasy grounds. Again, you foil our plans.
But here we go.
Yeah, Estrella is fairly confident that nobody spotted her. She's spotted down by the rocks. All of the foliage around her is matching the brush and dirt that she put on herself. For a casual passerby, she'd just look like another clump of dirty weeds. And Estrella, she can now see into the temple. She sees a huge pile of coins and a huge dragon with sort of a dark blue metallic claws rolling and sleeping or getting up from a pile of gold and skulls that it's been lying on. There's a greenish, very, very dark greenish tint to the black scales on that thing. So that's 2 actions to move up. Because I believe she can move at full speed.
She can. Yep. She can, yes. Yeah, but seeing that dragon waking up, I'm definitely using my last action to better my hiding place.
Gotcha. Okay, so now she's holding her breath and thinking calm, non-threatening thoughts as well to try to foil as many senses as possible at the same time. Black Dragon. Gotcha. Okay, that takes us to Magnus.
Magnus is just going to take 3 steps forward. So 1.
Moving up carefully.
2.
And I do not believe you can step 15. That would be a move.
I'll make up for it.
There's a monk feat that allows you to step 10.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 10, not 15. So I'll just do 5 with the last one.
There we are. Okay, so he's moving up very carefully. Gotcha. That takes us to Yodi.
Okay. I'm going to move over here and cast Haste on Preacher and pat him on the back and say, "Go get him, Tiger."
Dokily.
Okay.
That means it's... do you have anything else you want to do?
That's all I can do.
It's Preacher's turn. Are you going to follow the goat man, or do you have other plans?
No, I will speed up. Preacher's going to use...
I'm not cheap man.
Surprised at the look when he's going past. That might explain why he's standing still for so long. Then he's going to use the extra movement. And let's see now. That's 100. That's a long ways. So it's going to be... it's going to be actually 2 actions.
It is. Going to be 2 actions to get up there, even with the 5 extra feet of movement speed from haste.
So I have 2 actions left, and winch speed inside, I'm going to be just pounding on it.
Right. I'm going to assume you were in your stance starting up.
Yes.
Yep. I am a kind and loving murderer of players.
Thank you.
So, you are going for the Chimera.
Yep. Let me see now. Yeah, I'm actually going to try and do a combat grab on my first, and the second action is going to be something... No, I can't do it because I've been moving, so no. Welling throw is a full... So it's going to be 2 simple attacks.
Gotcha. Oh boy. Question. When you're mousing over these things, can you now see their names like you used to be able to? Or has that changed? Have I given them names for no reason?
Cannot see name.
Okay, just for fun, since I took the time to do it, I'm going to put the names up in chat once you start engaging these things. 41. 41. That's a critical, sir.
It also means it takes 3 fire damage from my aura.
Oof. Yeah, that's a mighty blow.
And it's a unarmed specialty. So what the heck is that? Rolling?
Let's hope Quinpedia has a quick answer for us.
I'll pull it up real quick.
And I'll do the second attack, just while he's thinking about it.
He's thinking about it.
Must succeed at a fortitude saving throw against your class DC or be slowed 1 until the end of your next turn.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, that thing slowed 1 until the end of Preacher's next turn, and that's another critical, by the way.
Then he's doing the same thing.
Sadly, doesn't stack.
And on the second attack, if Preacher comes up with a sweeping kick that would have made Bruce Lee jealous, and actually breaks all 3 necks in one go, the Chimera falls to the ground, dead as a doorknob.
Next.
That takes us to Marisol. What you gonna do?
So, let me see. Perfect. My Iris of the Sky has 125 range.
Oh boy. You're gonna need to press your talk button again.
I'm gonna aim and I'm gonna shoot at the Lady Pirate or whatever.
Okay. $33. That's a hit.
$21.
Yeah, you see, you hit her, but you can see the shot glances off of mail that she's got under her vest.
Then I'm gonna move. Is there any form of rocks or anything here that's in the area around Magnus?
Not that I can see on the map, no.
Okay. Then I'll just run over there and throw myself down, reloading while I do. And be ready on my knee to shoot next time.
Gotcha. That takes us to our first 1 of the evening, Mador, who had a 1 on initiative.
Well, last week I was getting all the 20s last time, so I'm gonna peek around my tree and shoot the Draculus with my crossbow.
Gotcha.
That's 2 ones.
Yeah, that's 2 1s in a row. That's pretty impressive. You get around the tree, fire the crossbow, and you actually get a jam.
Okay, I draw out the glaive.
Very well. That's a free action with your gloves of weapon storing, so you have 2 left.
Move within striking distance.
Yeah, that's easy enough to do. That leaves you with the time to whammo. Oh, and whammo you do. Let us see. That is a critical. And yeah, this thing knows it's been hit for sure. There we are. Yeah, you hit it with the glaive, and it's a lot of black blood just sprays out. That takes us all of the way around to Edamir.
All right. First, I will move Isoy up, and he will attack.
He'll attack the, the Black Fog. See, Draculus is known as. Go for it, good sir. That is a miss. The scales on this thing are just a tad too tough to get through for Isoy with that attack.
And I guess I will personally climb down and move there.
Very well.
And that'll be it for me. Oh, hello.
That's it for you. How wonderful. That means that the Black Dragon, which goes under many names, but but the current one is the one I've dropped in chat there. It's going to move up, and it's going to attack Edamir.
I'm covered in mud. I'm just a tiny fox.
Oh boy, it's seeing a little druid-shaped snack there. So first of all, it is going to... it actually does need to move further than there. It is going to bite Edamir. That is going to be a hit, but not a crit, I believe. That's a hit, yes.
I will actually, when he gets within 5 feet of me, I will reaction Zephyr Slip, and I will fly 15 feet directly backwards from him.
Okay. So that moves you back there. Okay, in that case, this bro is he explodes out. And he is going to breathe. Let's check on the range here. Yodi's out of range, but it's going to hit Edamir, Magnus, and Marisol. So that's going to be a DC 39 reflex save.
You said I'm out of range, right?
You're out of range indeed.
That's the third one for today.
Oh.
I needed a 20 to be able to pass that.
I am gonna use my hero points and avoid a critical hit from that dragon.
You are re-rolling that that critical fail? Yeah, probably not a bad idea.
Still a fail, but
that's still a critical fail, actually. So that's going to be fun for Marisol. So let's see, for Magnus and Edamir, that is going to be a 34 poison and 32 acid damage.
Marisol, take a liberating step.
How many feet is that?
15.
Very well. For Marisol, that is going to be 68 acid and 64 poison.
Then minus 15 for the potion.
I believe you have resistance against both from the 2 potions you've drank, so keep that in mind.
Okay, so minus 30 then on the total.
Yes. Also, everybody except Mador and Sara can give me a DC 35 will save. That is a fair effect. Oh dear.
I'm not going to give you one because I'm dropping like a sack of potatoes even with my... No, wait, with liberating step, that's how many again?
And that's his level, isn't it? So I believe that's 12.
Correct.
I'm still standing. Then you can get a will save.
So, boom, 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 boom.
Estrella obviously didn't expect the dragon to rush out like that.
Estrella obviously didn't expect the dragon to rush out like that. That's true. So, she is going to be very, very scared.
I got frightened. I got crit save.
Did I put that on you? Did I do that? That's. Oh, do you automatically crit save against fear?
I crit save if I pass a save, then I crit save.
Gotcha.
On wheels.
He also
Gotcha,
rolled a
gotcha.
nat
He rolled
20.
a 20.
Did he now? Oh yeah, he did. Now that I look at it. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see, Magnus, of course. So that's 13 less than damage that she takes. Magnus had a success and is resistant to fear, so Magnus doesn't care about that at all. Yodi had a success. He still gets frightened 1. Because any sane person is still scared by a dragon. And Marisol is frightened 2. This thing is, there might not be too much of thunderbolts and lightnings, but it is very, very frightening. Indeed.
Marisol is still within 15 feet of Magnus, so Aura of Courage.
Yeah, but she gets the effect, because if he or she moves further away than that, she's still going to be frightened 1 on her turn. Right, and this lady, pretty, not particularly chuffed about having been hit by that. She is going to move. She is not stupid enough to move up to Magnus. Let me check a spell here real quick. Ooh, good range on that thing. Let's see. Yeah, perfect. She is going to cast a blade barrier. Let's see. So now this entire area here is cut off by a wall of whirling swords. If I can draw something that looks like a sword. That's good enough. And then she's going to use her second move to get into cover. Because nobody likes getting shot for some reason. Right, Dracolisk Zeit. It is, of course, going to that's going to be a DC 26 from well, the one that's hurt it the worst currently is Mador. So DC 26 Fortitude for Mador there. Tries to turn him to stone. Mador resists that, though. Mador don't care. And then it's going to breathe acid at Mador. So that's going to be a DC 28 reflex save, sir. Ooh, so close, but no cigar. So that is going to be 42 acid damage to Mador.
And that's minus 30, minus 15 for the potions.
That is correct. So that'd be a 27. It is now Preacher. It is Preacher's turn.
Oh, choices. Hell in a handbasket. What does Frightened One do, actually?
It gives you a -1 on a couple different rolls.
All right. Okay.
The game will, or the Fancy Grounds will put that straight in.
I'm going to wall run up to the dragon, jump onto it, stab it with my dragon claw, which is on my bracer, and basically start stabbing in throat-wise. I think is a good option.
Right, so that's going to be an attack of
it's
opportunity.
Yep.
From the dragon against the Preacher as he sprints up. Oh boy. That is a critical.
Damn it.
So that means Preacher takes a good solid 56 bludgeoning damage, and in this square he's prone currently, having been knocked down. So that's one action you used out of your 4.
62?
56.
With 6. Okay. Well, I'll keep up for free,
Yeah, okay.
and then I'll try. Well, we'll try getting close to it again. Then.
Yeah, that's. Put yours. Is this a good square? You want to be here? You want to be here?
No, that's a good square.
Yep. No problem getting close to it on the second try there.
Well, then I'll gonna have to stab it then. Yeah. Does that count as an action? They're moving close.
That's a move action, yes.
Okay.
So you have two actions left since you're hasted.
All right. It's gonna be piercing, and I'm using the dragon claw that's mounted on my bracer to do this.
Very well. Cool boy.
The ones tonight.
Yeah, so you swing, the dragon claw goes punk, and it flies off of your claw, actually landing on top of Estrella, where she is hidden.
Wonderful. Then I'll just strike it with the fist.
You boys are not. You people are not having the best turns at all. You punch it, but you don't actually get through the scales.
I'm done.
That was Preacher. It is now Zara. Miss Alpendew herself.
Very cool. Let's see. To get flanking, I have to be. I don't have flanking with Isoi, right?
Nope. You need to be able to draw a line through the enemy token to an ally.
I will use my mirror to make a duplicate of myself here.
Gotcha.
And then I'm going to bonk the dragon. Lisk.
The Dracolisk, the Black Fog. It's tough, but it's not that tough. That's a hit. That's a good hit. It's not a killing blow, but that thing is definitely starting to feel tenderized. Second one's a miss.
And that'll be my turn.
Right. The troll. Angry as only something very angry can be. It's going to spend its entire turn just sprinting up and getting ready to clobber Preacher back into the Stone Age. So it's now Estrella's turn.
All right. So how scared actually am I? Am I even able to move?
You are able to move, but all of your class checks and DCs currently are 4 lower due to the Frightened 4.
Okay. But since the dragon does not seem to have seen me, I will try to attack. Is it actually like bright outside, or do we have dim light?
It's bright. You're here in the daytime.
All right. Just checking.
Perfectly fine. She comes up with the gloom blade, stabs the dragon, almost drops the sword from just the pain in her forearm and hand. From it feels like she just stabbed a stone wall.
All right. Then I want to acrobatic through the field to get in cover behind the wall. Over here.
Oakley dokley. It's I'm gonna have to move you through through the the door, but yes.
Here's my acrobatics.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys keep having rolls like that today, and this might be the end of this campaign. But she does still manage it. She claws and she falls over a couple of times, and she kicks Preacher in the shin on the way past as she slips, but she does manage to get behind the wall. It's not graceful, it doesn't look cool, and she's probably very happy nobody else from ninja school saw that. But she does get where she wants to go.
Yeah. And trying to hide there again. So here's a new stealth.
pretty certain that this tapestry that she's pulled in front of herself, though, has hidden her completely. Wow. The rolls today. It is now Magnus's turn.
Okay, Magnus sidesteps over here. Okay. Magnus is going to take another step backwards towards the tree. And then he's going to try and jump over the water to the nearest square of dry land inside the ruin.
So that's going to be a 25-foot jump there.
What would be the roll for that?
Oh boy.
It's a bit far, isn't it?
I'm gonna say that's gonna be a DC 35 athletics from standing still. So let's see how that works out for him.
I was planning on doing a run up.
Well, you just used 2 actions to move up.
Yeah, okay. In that case, Magnus will shield and wait for the next turn.
Very well. It is now Eodi's turn.
How tall is this wall of blades again?
20 feet tall.
Oh, okay. Well,
You
then
can see the dragon over it.
Yeah, no, I got you. I'm going to move to here. And I'm going to summon a young brass dragon 30 feet in the air above me.
Oh boy. Oakley dokley. I'm gonna say I didn't see that coming. Young brass dragon. Let me just get this thing added to all of the things where it needs to be added. 30 feet in the air above you.
He's going to fly over towards the black dragon, so if you just want to put him next to the black dragon, you can do that.
Gotcha.
And then I will use Draconic Frenzy on the black dragon, which gives me 2 claw strikes and 1 jaw strike in any order.
Oakley dokley. While you do that, I'm going to find a picture of a brass dragon to share with the class. So, one of these nice, not super evil, wanting to eat your face dragons has actually showed up. Okay, so those are the 2 attacks, and the third one there is a hit. Was that with a claw, or was that a bite?
So the bite was the last one, and then the 15 has also got a plus 19 to it. I just forgot to put plus 19 on it.
Gotcha. So if you can roll me 2d6 and 1d8, sir. Or do you just want me to roll it for you for speed and alacrity? That's up to you. So that's 12, 20. Yeah, it bites that black dragon and actually causes some damage to it. You can hear its flesh sizzling from where the white hot mouth of the brass dragon bites it.
Also, it's got Frightful Presence, so they all need to roll against DC 23.
Yep. See Pepsi. Doom 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 doom. You can hear the human in the back there go like, "Oh shit, they've got a dragon! They've got their own dragon!" But none of them panic as their dragon is still much larger.
That's
It's a Dragonov. Not a Dragonov, as some might believe, but yes. It is now Marisol's turn.
Yeah, so is that wall of blades just like swirling around so you can see through it, or is it?
It's well, for you it doesn't matter because it grants cover and you ignore it.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yep.
So I'm gonna shoot the dragon,
Very well.
and I'm gonna pray to the iris of the sky that we're gonna hit it.
So the big question is now: is Marisol going to set herself on fire? We are taking bets at 4-1 odds that she is going to set herself on fire.
Thank God this is a advantage roll.
Oh, that was so close to being a 20. But no, that's a miss.
Then I did set myself on fire, people.
There we are. That's $400 to me. I'll send you the bill, Tulmar.
The fuck you will.
And I'm gonna ignore the fire and chug a potion because I have 5 fire resistance, so it doesn't matter. I'm burning.
Yep. Fair enough. Drink your potion, ma'am.
Yeah, it's 2d8 plus 6, isn't it?
Yes. What potion are you drinking now?
Lesser elixir of life that I have a few of.
That's 3d6 plus 6.
Or not.
That
Something.
looks a lot like 3d8. I believe I said 3d6, but I could be wrong.
Oh, you said 3d6, sorry.
Yeah, still fair amount of hit points back.
Better because 17.
Yep. There we go. So Marisol is slightly less being both poisoned and melted by acid. Speaking of melting people with acid, it is Mador's turn.
All right, I'm gonna swing.
Gotcha. Roger. That is a you have flanking, so that's a crit. Yep, that is a fair amount of damage. It's it's bleeding very heavily now, trying to stare Mador down, and he just whacks it in the head with the glaive. Oh boy. And on the second blow, he just kind of scratches it behind the ear, and it looks pleased with itself. And third one's a miss as well, as he tries to scratch harder, and you can see its right back foot is kind of thumping the ground a couple of times. It's got a morale bonus to its next attack. It is now Edamir's turn.
All right. Well, I'm gonna unfurl my 6 tails, give a growl, and a dark aura surrounds me, and I'm gonna try to demoralize this dragon.
Very well. And that's a
Intimidate versus will.
Yeah. That is a critical success.
Damn. On his save?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will cast Impaling Spike on him.
Oakley dokley. Why am I Canadian today? I have no idea.
So it's going to be a reflex save.
Okay, versus your 30. That's a crit fail. Oh, that's fun.
Ooh. Well then.
That's a lot of damage. Holy cow.
Also, crit fail, so he is impaled through the leg or another non-vital body, or actually, the creature takes full damage. Hold on. If he's standing on solid ground, becomes immobilized, can attempt to escape through my spell DC. While it remains impelled, it takes damage from any weakness to cold iron at the end of each of its turns. And since it's a crit fail, he's impelled through a vital organ or the center of mass, taking double damage and is flat-footed as long as he's impelled. So he's immobilized and flat-footed.
Oh boy. Well then. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, that dragon's definitely pretty angry. It's quite annoyed currently.
Does he have weakness to cold iron?
He does not.
Okay. And then
Right.
Isoi. Isoi will attack.
That's a hit, sir.
I forget, does flanking count as flat-footed?
No, it doesn't.
Yes.
Yes, it does. Okay, so that's another. Yeah, Isoi latches on to where Mador and it has cut off all of its scales in the neck. Finds one of its carotid arteries and just tears it open and has himself a feast. And the black fog is now past tense.
And that will be my turn.
Right. That takes us to the dragon. It is furious, to put it mildly. First of all, it tears the impaling spike out.
Did he pass my spell DC?
Critical success against your spell DC.
Darn.
And then, having, of course, noticed who did this to it, it's going to bite Edamir. And that is a critical.
Then I will wooden double that.
Okay, so the wooden double takes how much of that damage?
1 second. It takes 25.
Okay, so that is 70 damage. 24 of it is acid.
And I'm also moved 5 feet to the left.
5 feet to the left, baby. Yeah, that's one big bite. It's not quite done. It's gonna bite Edamir again.
Got to do math for hit points.
You take 30 with your resistance and the wooden thingamajigger. And that is another critical on the bite.
Can't do anything against that one.
My dice seem to have fallen on the floor. It's funny that they added that as an extra thing in Fantasy Grounds. That's not a thing from reality I feel I needed. That is going to be 75 damage. 32 of that is acid, so you resist 15 of it.
So how much? 75
60.
minus 60.
60 damage to Edamir.
Well, 65.
Right. So, and you are also taking 9 persistent acid damage. Just so we remember that in case you need to make a death save on your turn. You are actually melting. And it's got a brass dragon in front of it now that it's dealt with the slight annoyance that injured it badly, and he is melting on the ground. It's going to go in on that brass dragon with his claws. Minus 10. I think that's still a hit, actually. That is a hit on the brass dragon. So let's just roll the other one. So that's 15. That's 2 hits on the brass dragon with its claws. It's actually tearing that brass dragon up pretty badly. It's way bigger than the brass dragon. But of course, the brass dragon being a brass dragon, it's not licked yet. But it is bleeding pretty significantly from those 2 claws. Oh, and then it is this lady's turn. Let's see, so she's gonna have to. Shoggoth needs to try to remember spells. Dun, dun, dun. What is the range on this? Ah, heck. Okay, so she's just gonna move 50 up here. And fire her crossbow at Preacher. Which he deftly deflects with his hand. Speaking of Preacher, it is now his turn.
Pink. The troll that approached me, is he within grabbing distance?
The troll?
Yeah.
And he's 10 feet away from you. So if you have reach, he's in grabbing distance.
Which I don't. Oh boy. Will the black dragon have a attack opportunity if I step out of it? If I step into the troll?
Not if you use the step action.
Then I do that.
There we are. So that is 1 action, leaving you with 3.
Yes. So flurry of blows to this roll with a combat
Okay.
grab on the second one. Let's see now. This. Thank you.
First one's kind of a whiff. You punch him, but you don't get any power into the blow. Second one's a critical.
All right. He's taking a fair bit of damage. 3 additional.
Oh boy.
Fire.
Yeah, the fire doesn't seem to do anything to him, actually.
The second action is going to be a whirling throw. I'm going to toss the guy.
Ah, gotcha.
He's going to do a great big parabola and land on top of the blade barrier.
Okay, then.
And that's the athletics. Here we go.
Yeet. That is against his.
I think it's his forward too, but I can check. Let me see. Where is the whirling throw?
Yeah, that is just a success on the dot. So you do manage to yeet him.
All right. I'm going to say that he lands on the other side of the acid river on the blade barrier at the end. He takes the falling damage of distance as well as the blade barrier.
So that's going to be 46 plus 78. So you can just roll that.
Let me just check before I actually roll anything. I need to figure out exactly how much I am putting on the parabola up and down. Again, 10 plus 5 plus strength modifier is 5. I'm tossing in 35 up and down, so
3d6 plus 78 then.
yep. 3.
Mm-hmm. Doom. 78 as well.
So 84.
No, 7d8s.
Ah, sorry. That was a fixed number. 78. How the hell? Okay, I'm going to do 5 and then 2 more. So 34.
Right.
Total.
Yeah, he gets yeeted. He's not probably not too happy about that. You haven't really asked him his feelings on the subject.
Well, he was trying to hurt me, so I hurt him back.
Yep.
For the last action, I'm gonna step into the face of this chick.
Oh.
No,
Okay,
hang
then.
on. Hang on. I'm actually gonna keep standing there. And I'm gonna summon up my chakram and just toss it in her face instead.
Or you do go "Aye," as well.
Something like that, yeah.
I approve. Can't make the sound too close or we'll get DMCA'd.
Pretty sure Xena's already on the phone.
She dodges that one easily, laughing at your incompetence.
Well, it was my last attack, so.
She doesn't seem to care. It is now Zara's turn.
Zara's gonna run here, leaping easily over the
Yep.
puddle of river.
So, with a sprint up, that works beautifully.
Second movement to here.
Yep.
And then my third action will be an esoteric lore on the black dragon.
Gotcha. Roll away, sir. Or ma'am. Well, it's a big-ass black dragon. They're somewhat resistant to magic, immune to acid, paralyzed and sleep. They're scary as balls, and they can kill you with pretty much every part of their body. You notice this one has kind of a deep green tinge, but you already knew it had some sort of poison shenanigans in addition to acid. Other than that, you don't get much, except you're pretty certain this is an ancient black dragon from the size of it. That's going to give you your bonuses. Yes. Right. Troll Bro. He gets up. Actually, let's roll a save. He's on the Magnus Marisol Yodi side of the barrier, but he wants to go through so that he can eat Edamir. That's going to be a.
Please no.
He fails his first reflex save. Roll me a 7d8, Edamir.
A what?
7d8. 7 of the d8 dice variety. Oh, 56 damage, damn. Well.
46.
Yeah, 46. This guy, of course, not one to give up for nothing. He is a troll. A bit of damage never stopped a troll. You can roll me another 78, but he moves through the barrier. Gets cut up something fierce, but you can see that's already started to... Those wounds have started to grow already. And on his third action, he picks up Edamir and douses him with ketchup and mustard.
Yummy.
It is now the brass dragon. So...
Okay, I will do.
Or does that act on your turn?
I don't think it matters. I don't know exactly how it works, but I think it goes during my turn.
In that case, we'll save it in case that actually means something tactically.
That's fine.
So it is now Estrella, who is slightly less frightened.
Yeah. Can I actually see the troubles Edamir is in right now, or is the dragon too big for that?
The dragon's actually so big that you can see the trouble Edamir is in from under it.
Okay. And the troll's already pretty beaten up, right?
It looks pretty beaten up, but it's regenerating fast.
Okay. Then I'm trying to do something someone else already tried, and I hope that I'm a little bit better at it. I want to, wall jump behind the troll and get up his back so I can push my blade into its neck. I have
Okey
wall
dokey.
jump.
So you're wall jumping. Yeah, you is it the dragon or it's the
I want to jump on the troll to free Edamir.
yeah. And you are not currently using any skills that tells me that you should be stealthed, are you?
I was stealthy and I can move in full stealth, so
Yeah, but do you have any skills that allow
Oh.
you to stay in stealth when you move out of cover? I believe you do, but I can't remember the name of it.
I do have the underhanded assault, which
Yeah.
allows me to use the distraction provided by allies.
Yeah, so are you going to underhanded assault over to that troll?
I guess I do, yes. So here's my stealth roll.
Oh, that was so close to being a 1. Um, sad to say, that dragon still notices that Estrella is moving, and it is going to try to do to her exactly what it did to Magnus, which is
Yeah.
smack her with the tail. And Estrella is now prone.
Damn it.
Where she was, if you if you had a good stealth roll, you would have gotten past, but 24 ain't gonna cut it. And she also takes 59 bludgeoning damage as she is smacked to the ground.
59. Okay. Like, come on. Let me
So
put that here.
That leaves her with whatever actions she had left after underhanded assault.
Oh, well, then I'm gonna try to hit the dragon once with my blade. To try to do at least a little bit of damage.
Yeah, again, your hand hurts as you stab that dragon. It goes boing. Just bounces off as if you're trying to get through a cliff wall with a butter knife.
Well, that's all I can do right now.
Yes, that takes us to Mr. Magnus, also known as Magnus the Magnificent.
Okay, well, the goatly one is going to look at the troll through the blade barrier and cast Fire Ray.
Very well. That, sir, is a hit.
Then I need to roll this.
Now, is there a save for that spell?
Uh,
Not if there's a to hit roll.
no, there's an attack roll.
Gotcha. You can see. Give me a perception, actually, before we do anything else.
Sure thing.
Yeah, you see a ring on that troll's finger flare up, and it's a lot less affected by the fire than you would have thought it would be. But it does get singed.
Okay. Magnus will. I've been burnt 2 moves. And yeah. He's just going to shield.
Okay. So that takes us. That was Estrella minus. It is now Iodi's turn.
Excellent. I'm gonna move to there.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna cast Disintegrate on the troll that's holding Ed.
Ooh. Is that a 2-hit, or is that just a straight up save?
I gotta make a spell attack.
Gotcha.
And then he has to make a Fortitude DC 28.
28. He just about makes it. That is half damage, I believe.
Oops. Does he just about make it, or does he make it?
He makes it, yes.
So I don't think it's half damage.
Let me check.
It does say basic save, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, then it's half damage. Okay.
That is still a big ass chunk of damage, and that. Let's see. Does the disintegrate turn him into dust only on a critical, or only? Oh,
If he dies, he turns into dust.
He turns into dust, and Edomir is now lying in a fine pile of dust next to a nice shiny ring.
And then I'll use my last action to sustain my dragon, and he will use Draconic Frenzy on the black dragon.
Gotcha. Oh boy. These rolls are not fantastic. He does not manage to hit even once.
Perfect. That's my turn.
Very well. It is now the burning one. It is Marisol's turn.
Yeah, shrugging. I'm burning. Who cares? I had plans in store for that. I am gonna move here behind this rock. I assume that's a rock, so I can stand on my knee and back behind it. And that gave me a reload. I have thrown myself into cover, so I'm aiming.
And shooting at the dragon, I assume.
Yes.
Or are you shooting somebody else? That's a hit.
For 19.
You can see with the huge spear that Edomir hit that thing with it's bleeding. It knows it's in a fight for sure.
And then I'll drink another potion.
Very well. While you do that, it's Mador's turn.
I take it I can't see the dragon from here.
No, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 walls in between you and that dragon currently.
All right, so it's not a tall dragon.
It's tall, but it's not taller than the temple tall.
All right, I'm gonna do a running jump across the river.
Yep. Give us an athletics. Yeah, easily enough.
It was more than 2 moves, or it was 2 moves.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you managed to move your once you land, you managed to move your other 15 feet there. So
all right, I guess
I'm
that's
gonna steal your movement. That's you have one more action then.
Okay. Start going around the temple to the fighting.
Very well. Mador, by the way, has a speed of 25, so I assume you're going to want to move your last square there as well. There we are. Okay, Mador's moving towards the sounds of fighting. It's not difficult to hear. There's like roaring and the weird sound of things being, melted. Now comes the question, of course. Edomir has acid resistance. Will that affect
I do not.
damage? You do not. Have you not drank a potion?
Oh, okay. Yes, I have.
So he ignores the damage because it is less than 15.
Perfect. So your poison acid resistance is keeping you from melting currently, but we're still going to need a roll against dying.
What do you want me to roll?
I always forget this because you guys are.
It is a flat 20, and he is trying to beat 10 plus his dying number. So currently an 11.
Roll over 11.
I'm not dying.
Oh yeah. I thought you actually had gone down. No, you're on 4
No.
hit points. In that case, you're not dying. It's just Edemir's turn. He's ignoring the fact that the dragon tried to melt him.
I will 5-foot step back,
Gotcha.
and I'll cast lightning bolt or chain lightning,
Chain lightning on the dragon.
and the human.
And the human. Go for it, sir. Who are you targeting first?
The dragon.
The dragon. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's a 31, was it?
Yep, reflex save.
That is a success for the dragon.
So half damage.
Half damage, and I believe the chain lightning stops.
No, only on a crit.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's not a crit, so half damage to him. Okay. Yes, he's getting singed. Some of the scales pop from the electricity, as if he was a piece of bacon dropped in an air fryer in boiling oil. Yes, and then let's see. That was a 31 for her as well. And okay, so ow, she goes. She seems unhappy about things. This dragon. Yep.
Then I will move Isoy.
Do it, sir. What in the world is our dog doing? She's pulling the covers from the bed onto the floor so that she can have herself a little nest.
Yes, she does that.
Yeah. There's. Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
So he's sprinting down. That takes us to the dragon. He kind of wants to go kill the fox, but he's busy fighting a lot of other people. So he's going to focus on the brass dragon because he kind of hates brass dragons. And so that's a draconic frenzy on brass dragon bro there. That is 2 hits. And the horns.
It doesn't make much of a difference, I don't imagine, but he will use wing deflection to get +2 AC when he gets hit.
Let's see. The horns will actually miss due to wing deflection, but the 2 claws both hit. And this thing punches hard. You can hear the brass dragon roar in agony as it's slashed up again. And of course, he still has something to do after that. What does this button do? Why do I write so badly? Huh? I'm gonna have to Google this. An item seems to be from somewhere we don't have. Okay, there we are. Right. Out of one of its claws, a little wand pops out with 2 prongs ending in copper coils. And there's a loud sapping sound as it tries to hit Edemir with its its taser. So that's going to be a DC 25 will from Edemir. Oh, Edemir is not hit with the taser.
And
So
it counts as a crit save.
Ah, excellent. Right. This lady here, she's none too happy with this currently. There we are. One, two, three, four, 6. Right, that is going to be a DC 30 Fortitude save for Preacher as she tries to cast Harm on him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
No.
Okay then.
Before you roll damage, harm, if I recall correctly, that's a pretty bad spell.
Used to be. Now it's just the same as heal. First level, but can be heightened. This one is, in case you were wondering, heightened.
I'm going to use a hero point to evade that.
Okay, re-roll your save, sir. Well, Preacher does not care one bit about the harm as she casts it. For the purpose of your ability, that's a 6th level spell.
Okay, 6 temporary hit points.
Yes, indeed, sir. Just drop some of those spells she's used here, so I remember that. Okay, and then she pulls out a wand and readies it for use. Speaking of Preacher, it is Preacher's turn.
I've had enough of that fool. Hi.
You step up or you move up?
Step up.
Yeah, that's what I assume.
Flurry of blows to the face. I'm actually going to spend a key point. I had enough of this person. So this is actually a +1 additional to my hit, and it's going to be a combat grab on the second.
Very well, very well, very well. And the first one's a miss. Second one's a crit.
In that case,
Okay.
I'm going to
very good.
punch her again. That's a good measure.
That's a hit. Yeah, she's starting to feel all of those these consecutive punches to the head.
And then we're going to do the rolling throw toss up.
Right. I'm
I'm going to probably fail that because I doubt she's that bad.
You try to yeet her, and the moment Preacher's arm is at full extension, she kind of wraps her legs around his arm and uses him as a stripper pole. And is back where she started.
Interesting.
And that's Preacher, I believe.
Yep.
Handy dandy. That takes us to Magnus.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, Magnus measures the blade barrier and the distance that he's got to jump. And something pokes him in the back of the head, and then he reaches back and pulls out the broom that he never gave back to Marisol. I don't believe it. So Magnus is going to fly over the blade barrier.
Not without a proper cackle, he isn't.
Yeah!
There we are, and the broom has been activated. And he flies over the blade barrier.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be 2 actions.
Okay.
1 left.
His last action is going to be to try and ram the Rancer into the Black Dragon.
So he's coming in with a pole arm as well.
Yes.
Wonderful. That's a hit. Beware the Flying Paladin Lance Squad. Words I have actually uttered many times when I used to play Bretonnians in Warhammer Fantasy. He stabs the Black Dragon in the shoulder, and it seems pissed off by it. It is not super happy about having a flying holy man poking it with a sharp broom handle. And it is now Zara's turn.
Zara's gonna run here.
Mm-hmm. Meow.
Then she's going to make a mirror duplicate of herself here.
Gotcha. Whoop.
And then she's going to roll a 42 to hit the dragon.
That is a hit. This dragon is now starting to feel like it's being repressed. Its meanings are not being listened to, and its rights are not being respected. That is a solid hit. Looks like it hurts pretty badly. And was that Zara's turn?
That was Zara's 3 actions, yes.
Thank you. That takes us to Estrella, who is starting to come over her fear here. Her pulse is a measly 150 beats per minute right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, since she has already seen a dragon being invisible once, and she does not want this one to escape when it's pretty badly hurt, she is going to sprinkle some dust of appearance on it.
Gotcha.
And then she is going to try to stab it again. Let's see if this one at least goes a little bit better.
That's it.
It actually is. Great.
Yep.
Didn't expect that, but great. Do I have flanking with the dragon, by the way?
You can't pull a line from yourself to that dragon, but I'm going to be exceptionally nice to you and say you can pull a line to Magnus.
All right, great. So, take off the last die because that is undetected precision. So that would be 5 less is 15, and my sneaking. Come on, Fantasy Grounds. All right, let's do it this way.
So this dragon is now glittering on top of everything else, adding insult to injury.
And then I'm going to take 1 step back.
Gotcha. Kalidokli, it is now Eodi and his brass buddy.
Ooh wee. I'm gonna chain lightning the dragon and her friend.
Gotcha. That's a DC 31 for you as well, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Handy dandy. The dragon succeeds, but not crit success. This dragon is not enjoying this vacation to the swamp at all anymore. And that lady that's fighting Magnus is starting to look pretty singed down there.
And I will use an action to sustain the dragon, and he will do Draconic Frenzy once more onto the black dragon.
Gotcha. Go for it, sir. That is a miss. That is another miss. And another miss. But it's keeping it busy.
Did the flanking that he's getting from me help the dragon at all?
No. It helped it a bit. There's no crit misses there. But not enough. It's not enough. Something. And that takes us to Marzal. Still on fire and ignoring it because she is a proper badass.
I had a fire resistant wound sewn into my coat. That's awesome. I'm gonna shoot at the lady that Peter is banging on.
Language. But yes. 2 shots at Estrella. Gotcha.
Hi.
34.
34 is a hit. Ooh. And I believe Peter's been punching her a bit.
Additional 12.
26 damage. Oh boy.
And I reload.
Yeah, she's swaying on her feet right now, but that male shirt she has still took the brunt of that. And it's Mador's turn.
Right. Can I see anything when I get to the entrance here?
You see a huge pile of gold, skulls, and various trinkets of the sort that wouldn't be melted by acid. Looks very leery to you. But you feel something calling you from... that would be straight through... No, actually... I'm not certain Mador would want to do... Yeah, okay, there's actually a door up there. So yeah, that's not as bad a move as I thought. I thought he'd
See
run
the
into
map,
a...
so
Yeah, I'm a bit more zoomed out because I'm trying to see all of you. So I thought he just ran himself into a blind room there.
I was actually trying to get around the corner here to see if I can see anything, not into the room, but
Right. Okay. We'll move you where you wanted to go. So there. And yes, he can now see the dragon and all sorts of things. He can also feel his armor humming as something in that pile is resonating with it.
dragon first, worry about the treasure later.
That's a first from this party. Edamir, it's your turn.
Not me.
Okay, I will attempt to demoralize the human down there.
Gotcha. Roll your thingamajigger. Holy, yeah, she is obviously demoralized. That's a crit success.
She is frightened too,
Oh boy.
and then I'm going to invigorating fear reaction to gain 10 hit points equal to her level.
I'm gonna have to actually check that. Give me just half a second here. Where's your class, lady? Why have they not damn pre-made things? There we are. 11 temporary hit points to you.
And then I'll take my chances and try to lignify the dragon.
Lignify?
Yeah, turn him into wood.
Oh, right.
Fortitude save.
I generally consider my grasp of the English language to be pretty good, but I had no idea what that meant. Well, that's a natural one.
Ooh,
So that's not
he
good.
is slowed 2 right now.
Oh boy. That's not good for him.
If I believe it's slowed 4 is when you're immobilized, and if at the end of each of its turn it does it again. So once it gets to slowed 4, he is turned permanently to non-magical wood.
Oh boy. Okay, well, he's not having the time of his life, that's for certain.
But as of right now, he is just slowed 2.
Gotcha.
And then Isoy will move up. And that'll be my turn.
Right. Well, over to the dragon, and he might find this brass dragon annoying, but he finds Edamir straight down threatening. So that is going to be a DC 39 reflex for Edamir and Marisol. Marisol has got the cover, so that's a +2 to her.
Reflex?
Reflex, yes. Ooh. Edamir takes half damage.
Oh, that's Will. My bad. Reflex.
Ah, yeah.
Crit success.
Marisol manages to get completely out of the way. Edamir does not, and takes the spray of poisonous acid straight to the face for a, let's see, add and subtract. That'll be after resistances, 45 damage.
And I will go down.
It's,
But I believe the spell is still taking effect. I have to look it up.
Yep. Yeah, that's what he
Yes.
managed to hit. You notice, by the way, especially the ones well versed in dragons, that this thing does not have the line of acid the black dragons usually have. It's more like a huge cloud of toxic, corrosive poison. And let's see how much more. Edamir is now up to 15 persistent acid damage. Marisol is up to 13 persistent acid damage. So still not something you guys need to worry about due to your potions from the Fae. That somebody managed to finagle you earlier. This lady here.
Shago.
Yes, I noticed.
At the end of the dragon's turn, he needs to do his fortitude save.
Thank you. There's a 1 in 20 chance of him failing it, but it's still a 1 in 20 chance. No, that's a crit success.
Then let me check real quick. His slow decreases by 1, but he's still under the effect.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. So that the fact that you just ate 2 of his actions with that slow 2 was a pretty big deal in and of itself. This lady, she is praying to her dark gods, and she is actually healing the dragon. You can see some of its wounds closing as she yep, she casts a powerful healing spell on it. Still very injured, but not as bad as it could have been. And with her last action, she's going to try to put her rapier into Preacher's face. 33. That is a hit, I believe.
Yep.
For 7 piercing damage to Preacher.
Ow.
Oh yeah, she's also frightened.
Yeah. I'm aware. That's her class DCs and spell DCs being affected. That takes us to Preacher.
Okay. She's got my full attention.
You usually do that when you stick somebody in the face with a rapier.
Clear of those. Combat grab in a second.
That is a hit.
And a crit.
Oh boy. Well,
here's the damage on the first at least. +3.
+3. Well, she doesn't care about the fire, but that's still enough to kill her. And then Preacher yeets her powerfully, slips on a spot of acid, and hurls her as hard as he can into Magnus. So that's going to be 3d6 damage to Magnus as well. And I'm going to need a DC 10 acrobatics check for Magnus to not be taken off of the broom by a Preacher throwing corpses at him.
Athletics?
Yes, sir. In addition to, that was a very good damage roll as well for 3d6. That's 15 damage to Magnus. But she is dead.
That was 3d8 plus d6 plus 7.
Oh yeah, that was a lot. No, I rolled the damage. It's 15. It's fine.
Oh, okay, that's my bad. I thought Preacher rolled it.
No, that was for her. So don't worry about it. And speaking of Magnus, it is his turn.
I only burned my haste on that.
My bad.
So I will head on back to the dragon. Using
Still have
one action.
many opportunities to injure the dragon.
Yes.
Yeah, the dragon is going to take an attack of opportunity as Magnus comes in. It is going to try to bite him. That is.
Does slow do anything against attack of opportunities?
Nope.
Okay.
So that is, holy cow, 83 damage to Magnus. However, you can reduce it by 15. That's.
Wasn't it Preacher who moved into?
Yes, Preacher. So that's going to be 68 damage total.
Okay.
as it bites him. In addition to 7 persistent acid, which won't bother him for a while yet.
Okay. Okay. In that case, I hit him twice,
Go for it, sir.
hopefully.
First one's a hit.
And then just a fist.
Fist misses.
It takes
Smacks into the dragon.
3 additional wisdom fire, but you may not care.
Gotcha.
I'm done.
That was Preacher. Now it's Magnus.
Okay. Magnus is going to try Dent very hard to ram the Rancer into the dragon again.
Very well. Give it your all. And he hits it, but he doesn't manage to penetrate the scales.
So no damage. We'll try again.
Hits it, still doesn't penetrate the scales.
Okay. We'll raise shield.
Very well.
That was with flanking damage, wasn't it, Shock?
I'm aware.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm just checking.
Yeah, no, feel free to check. I forget things many times. It is Zara's turn.
Okay, Zara is going to activate her weapon to give herself an additional +2 to her attack. So these are all going to be at an additional +4.
Very well. Well, that's a clear critical. There's a crunching sound as she breaks bones in the back of that dragon's tail.
And that's a 30.
That's a miss. But it is now severely injured by Zara's mighty blow to its butt. It is, speaking of hitting people in the butt, it's Estrella.
If you don't succeed at first, you just try again. Wall jump this time for the dragon, and I'm going to roll acrobatics for that. To get on top of that dragon's back.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Also, the dragon's prone, because I crit him.
Yeah, the dragon is prone, so Estrella is on the dragon's back currently.
Alright, then here we go with the Gloom Blade.
Oh, that's a hit. Because
again, take
prone.
off the 3. So it's 15. Do I get my sneak damage for that?
That you do.
Perfect. Here we go. So that is 22.
22 more damage for dragon.
Yep. And since I am already on top of him, let's try that again. Let's roll the right dice for that, please. Nope.
Yeah. Estrella manages to actually tumble herself straight off of the dragon's back as it gets up. She's on top of its head and wanting to stab it, and she ends up landing behind Edomir, almost going into the blade barrier.
Not too bad a spot to land. All right.
It is now Iodi's turn.
Okay. I will do a 3-action magic missile at the black dragon. No, 2
Okay.
actions because I need to sustain the brass dragon, so I'll do 2 actions.
It's now severely injured, but not quite killed. And you can see blood pouring from it. Where it's been hit so many times now that this dragon is really struggling.
Since it's still prone, I will do Draconic Fury and attack it again.
Gotcha. That is a miss. Oh boy, this thing can't roll for. Still a miss. Yep, even though it's prone. Should that have been at plus 17 or plus 19?
2 19s and a 17.
Okay, gotcha. Well, that's a bunch of misses.
Checks out.
Marisol's turn.
Well, I'll aim and shoot at the dragon. There's not that much else to do right now.
Uh, 46. That is a hit.
Plus however many dice preacher
4.
rolled. So 24.
24. Aye. Yeah, she hits it, takes out one eye, but the dragon is still up. But if it survives it might be speaking with a slur for the rest of its life. That was Marisol. That takes us to Mador.
Alrighty. Shoot crossbow from here and then charge up with the glaive.
Gotcha. Wait a minute. Your crossbow is still jammed.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Then I'll just switch over to the glaive then.
Yeah, you haven't cleared
On
the
the glaive,
jam
I'll
on that
just-
crossbow yet.
I'll just move up to where I can strike.
Yep. That's going to be one move to reach that part. And then one attack. Even though it's prone, Mador hits it, but it just can't seem to get through the adamantine-like hardness of the scales. And Edamir, I believe, is actually dying this time.
Yep.
Oh, that takes him to dying too.
And the soy will move up. And that'll be my turn.
That'll be your turn. Okay. This dragon is gonna try to go airborne to get away from y'all.
I'm going to get an attack of opportunity, and so is Mador.
Yeah, and so is Preacher, and so is Magnus.
Nothing out of me though.
Natural crit.
Yep. So roll your crit damage there, Mador. As the dragon gets up, Mador swings the glaive, takes it through the vertebrae in the neck, and the dragon falls down, and acid explodes out of it. So let's see, how many are within 30?
Can I try to shield Edamir with my body?
Do you have any feats that allow you to do that?
I would just sacrifice my reflex for that for him. If that's okay. So I take the full brunt.
If you're willing to take a critical hit, then you can shield him.
I will risk it, yeah.
Very well. Yeah. Oh, not the greatest for Sara there either.
What are we rolling?
DC. What did I say? Did I say the DC?
Nope.
My brain does not work. DC 39 reflex.
No chance.
So to those who failed, that's going to be 56 acid, and to Estrella, that's going to be 112 acid.
Okay, so I am down, but our fox does not die anymore. So there is a chance to save us both.
Right. So Estrella is no longer frightened, but she is dying one. Having taken the full brunt of the acid from that fox there. That was
Preacher down.
What do you say? Is Preacher also down?
Yep.
Oh boy, that was bad on so many levels for so many people. So no, it's not Preacher. Well, it's a DC 11 flat D20 for Preacher now, because it's his turn. Just roll a D20.
Will do.
Well, he has stabilized. So he's only wounded one now. Whoop, 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 whoop. Speaking of, it's Magnus's turn. The blade barrier, by the way, has dissipated now.
Okay, well, Magnus will cast a level 2. No, scratch that. Magnus will move over to Edamir and Estrella and start to the battle medicine.
Which one of them?
He can treat both at once. He has a feat for it. Ward medic, I think.
Battle medicine. I'm not
You're wrong.
seeing anything about treating multiple people at once there.
It would be under the ward medic feat for using treat medicine on 2 targets, but I don't think that affects battle medicine.
Nope, double checking. It doesn't. It's just general medicine. Okay. Okay, we'll pick Estrella first.
Okay then. Roll and heal for Estrella then. And while you do that, it is Sarah's turn.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Ouch.
Well, as he runs over and sticks his thumb deep into Estrella's wound to staunch the bleeding, she goes up to dying 2. And now it's Sarah's turn.
Zara is going to pull out her scroll of healing and use 3 actions to cast it.
Ah. Sounds like